Hello guys and welcome to a new video. This one is entitled Hate Within the LGBTQ plus community. This is Wendy. She's my best friend.
Hi.
And we apologise in advance if this video goes completely off track or is rubbish. Because I haven't done one for ages
And I've never done one.
So, yeah. Anyway, Wendy, please tell us a little about yourself. I feel like I'm interviewing you.
I feel interviewed. I'm getting nervous. Hi, I'm Wendy, as Sarah said. I am a cis female who is pansexual. I have a lot to do in the LGBTQ plus community. Generally, it's because of a lot of my family members are gay. I know as a pansexual, I should really put myself in there, but I feel that sometimes the community doesn't really accept pansexuals, I suppose, because we as women have the option of being with men and have been with men in a relationship with men. I feel that they sort of feel that we don't have to fight the good fight.
Yes.
So much.
Yes, it's kind of on the same level as being bi, I suppose.
Yes, exactly. You know, we have that issue where if you're in a relationship with a man, like I said, they think you're not fighting anything. So I suppose I should put myself in LGBTQ.
I think we are.
I'm not straight.
No, you're not straight. And I'm not
and that's
straight.
It really, so.
Yeah. So
Nothing
we are part of the community. And Wendy is also very good friends with my partner, PJ.
Yep.
So obviously being an ally as well.
Yep.
As actually within the community kind of thing. That makes sense to us. And hopefully to you. So why are we making a video called Hate Within the LGBTQ plus community? Because we're both members of a lot of groups on Facebook and other social media, but mainly the Book of Faces. And most of the groups I'm part of are kind of anti or SJW free groups. For those of you that don't know what SJW is, that's Social Justice Warrior, which you would think would be a good thing, but actually seems to be very extreme, kind of fighting for rights of LGBTQ people whilst demonising every other fucker on the planet. And that's not cool either.
No.
You know, you can't fight for rights and equality and
hate everybody else.
Hate everyone else. It kind of doesn't seem productive because you're replicating the behaviour that is a problem in the first place.
And the SJWs tend to put their opinions forward in a very aggressive manner.
And a negative manner.
Yeah, which makes them then the reason that we're having to fight.
Exactly.
Because everybody sees those people
as a representation of the community.
Yeah.
So most of the groups that I'm part of, and I'm pretty sure you as well, are kind of not SJWE groups. But
this is a big but.
This is a big but. Sorry, the screen went black, so we kind of probably both looked a bit like this just then. But we won't. But even within the not SJW kind of groups, we've noticed that there seems to be a lot of hate. Members of groups seem to, or not every member, let me start off like that. Not every member, not every group, and not every person behaves like this. But it is a very, very common thing that I have noticed.
I find that in every group that I'm part of, you get at least 4 or 5 people
who are very
like
vocal.
That. And I mean, these groups have usually got thousands of people. But it seems that those 4 or 5 people are on your back.
they
24/7.
Yeah, they have
about something.
They have the bigger voices,
Yes.
and often the people that don't think like that have tried to kind of communicate with these people and sort of turn it around, and then they just get drowned out and they get bullied, or at least pushed so far that they just can't take part in the conversation anymore. So then they don't want to interact anymore. So their voices are gone, and you only hear the other people. Now, I've noticed that in those groups, especially because I'm a member of quite a few groups for transgender people, there's a lot of hate towards other people on the spectrum. A lot recently where non-binary people are concerned, and also cis. Now, I understand that there's this whole thinking that, like, cis is, we've got it easy and we don't understand and things like that. And in a way, I get that way of thinking. But there are people that actively promote cis hate, which I don't understand at all.
I saw one of those, what are they called, memes out there, and it said, don't complain that you don't have a rainbow flag, be proud of the fact that you don't need one, because they were saying that they brought the rainbow flag in because they needed to fight for the rights, and they're basically saying that, obviously this was to do with straight people rather than cis, but they're basically saying, oh, be glad of the fact that you didn't need to fight for your right. And I feel that cis people in the trans community are like straight people in the gay community. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we are kind of not picked on, belittled sometimes about the fact that
we're cis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that apparently we don't go through it as much. Yeah. As you guys.
And
if you're trans do.
The thing is, I kind of get that because.
Yes.
But having said that, and a lot of it as well is like towards cis men, white cis men. Now, I understand, I'm a feminist. Men do have it easier, generally, like they have throughout history, okay? White men, white is privilege. There is the whole more privileged anyway. That's changing a little bit, but it's not quite there yet. I get that then, therefore, a white cis man is a target for basically the epitome of privilege. I get that. But you are attacking cis people when you're trying to get rights and the same privileges, and you're almost meeting hate, or what you perceive to be hate, because not every cis person hates anybody in the LGBT community, but you're using this perceived hate to perpetuate hate, and that's just a cycle. It's just going to keep going round, and nothing will get better. You can't change the world by screaming and kicking and being hateful. No. And the people that do actually tarnish the entire community with this negative brush of being hateful and extreme, and then no one will listen to you. No one listens to an extremist. No. They don't. They don't. They don't. No one's interested because you're perceived to be unreasonable.
The thing is, the trans people are fighting for rights. We understand that.
Yeah.
You know, everybody needs their rights. And we support that. Exactly.
We support
that. But we are cis females, and we are allies. We're with you guys. We're fighting the fight with you guys. Do we want to be picked on?
No, exactly.
No, because we are not living what you're living as bodily, but emotionally, we're there with you. You know, when you guys get upset about how you're looking, how you're feeling, and you're feeling dysphoric, we're there with you. We're supporting you. live in that with you.
Yeah, and we're trying to, like, and I have a trans partner, and, you know, when something shit turns up on his Facebook, I'm there getting outraged at that, whatever it is, saying it's not okay. I'm here trying to educate people on my channel because I don't think a lot of it is okay. I'm trying to offer advice from my experience as a partner. I am a cis female, but you would look at me and go, well, you're cis, so you don't understand.
You don't understand, yeah.
I don't understand how you feel because I am not in your predicament. However, I understand how my friends and loved ones feel, and that's not okay, and therefore I do what I do, and the same with Wendy. So we feel like that's kind of a huge thing.
And we have empathy. I mean, it's not, you know, we may not, like I was just saying, we may not be living it.
No.
But we feel it.
Yes, exactly.
Just the same as if you have children, you feel what they go through when they're going through stuff. Fine, we're not going through it. We don't remember what it was like to grow up, you know. But when they go through stuff, we're feeling it.
Exactly.
And it's exactly the same.
Not
that I'm comparing your transition with children. I'm not. But the point is empathy. Yeah.
And so we've kind of, that covers our cis angle, our cis hate angle.
There's so much more hate.
Well, exactly. So then I briefly touched on the non-binary thing. Now, I've seen an argument in one of the Facebook groups, whatever you want to call them, where a non-binary person was trying to explain how they feel and gave a very good explanation. You know, it depends on the day, how they wake up and they feel. And it was explained really well. I'm not going to go too much into it, but she as she was representing at the time, she did a great job. But she was immediately attacked because certain members of the group who are trans members don't believe that non-binary is a thing. Now, they asked...
Gender fluid.
Gender fluid, yeah. Also not a thing.
No.
Now, I understand that currently, and I've said this before, currently, within the community, there are... It's almost like when I was younger, 16, 15, you had the same experience at your school. We became teenagers and suddenly everyone was bi. It was like really cool to be bi. It was very fashionable and everybody was doing it. And I would say 90% of the people that said they were, in fact, weren't.
No. They would have run screaming.
10% that said they were, they're probably still flying that flag.
Yeah.
Okay? So, but at the moment on Tumblr and other social media, it seems to be very popular to come out as trans. And young children, teenagers are coming out and saying, oh yeah, I'm trans, call me this, da-da-da-da-da-da.
And we are not
saying that all of them
are. Remember that. We do understand there are teens out there who will be watching this that are going through
the transition and wanting to understand. Yeah, completely. But there are also a lot who I think it's quite cool. Yeah. Because there's a lot of media attention on the trans community at the moment, more so than there has been ever, really.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities coming out.
Yeah, everything. And we're not belittling those people that are, but we understand also that it is a little bit of a fashion trend at the moment. Now, the people who are in those groups and are transitioning attack a lot those people. And it's almost like when you're in the group, you come in and you have to prove yourself to be trans, or you are repeatedly attacked. And the non-binary folks are falling into that as well, because some people are saying, well, I don't get it, you know, and associating social constructs of how certain genders look with being non-binary. So they're belittling those people. And they're going, it doesn't exist. You just like dressing like a man one day and dressing like a woman another day. Yeah. That's not what non-binary is, and that's not how those people feel.
They're not transvestite. as a guy dressing as a girl.
No.
That's more of a sexual, I would think. More transvestite is more sexual, isn't it?
I mean, the people that I know personally that are transvestites, it's like just something they enjoy doing.
Yeah.
They don't identify necessarily, not all of them, but necessarily identify with their gender. They just like wearing the
So
clothes.
obviously gender fluidity and non-binary are different from that. This isn't just they feel like, oh, I'm going to wear a skirt today rather than a pair of trousers.
No, exactly.
It's mental.
And a lot of
mental.
No, but it's a feeling.
Yes.
And then they often attack the non-binary people and go, well, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Well, if I turned round to a trans person who is transitioning and said, but how do you know?
Yeah.
You would go apeshit.
Yeah.
You would go apeshit that I was questioning
How you were feeling.
how you identify
Yeah.
and what you feel. You would go crazy. Please ignore the noise in the background. It's a dog.
Very hyperactive dog.
But you would go apeshit. So why is it okay for you to say to a non-binary person, no, I don't believe you? What do you mean that's how you feel?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean you feel like a trans person? It's not okay. But the biggest problem and the most annoying problem is people within the community, trans community, attacking other people who are trans.
Who are trans. Yeah, so we can sort of understand in a very logical way why one group will attack a different group because they feel they don't understand each other.
Yeah, like trans attacking cis.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
but trans attacking trans? What?
Yeah.
You know, they're going through the same thing you're going through and you're belittling them or questioning them? No.
It's like, again, part of that I feel could be the whole Tumblr, it's cool to come out as trans thing. But when somebody is actively within their transition and they've got the hormones and they've go to the doctors and they've had their psychology appointments and they've changed their name and they're so far into their transition that it's not a fad.
No.
You know, this is who they are. This is the life that they are living. And then other people attack that. And it's things like people not agreeing with the types of surgeries people want or don't want.
Yeah.
You know, we saw one the other day where a gentleman had had top surgery and asked that they not put his nipples back on. Now, personally, would I want to have no nipples? No. Would you?
Do you know what? I wouldn't mind. I don't
There you
care.
go. So you
I
didn't
actually,
care.
nipples, I mean, they were good for when I had kids, but apart from that, who really cares about nipples?
Right. I like nipples, so I want nipples. Wendy doesn't care either way.
No,
Does it fucking matter?
it doesn't. No
No.
nipples.
No nipples does not matter. However, the group actively attacked this person or a member of the group, calling that person vile, abnormal, it's unnatural.
I hate that word.
Now, is it any of your business? No. Should you
Not
be
your
judging?
body. It's not your body.
Exactly.
What's the problem? How does it affect you?
It doesn't.
Whether that person has nipples.
It doesn't. And why are you attacking that person? Another thing, I've seen conversations where people are talking about the surgeries that they would like to go through, or oh, I've had top surgery, but I don't want to have bottom surgery because I'm comfortable with that.
Yep.
And then people attacking that person and saying, well, you're not a proper trans person because you don't want bottom surgery. Maybe that person just isn't that dysphoric about that. Maybe, they don't want to take the risks of surgery at this point when the medicine's not, the medicine behind it isn't completely as good as it could be.
And I find it really startling, like, especially in this sort of age where everybody's so much more open, how, we're trying to fight against being rigid towards gender and what gender means, like blue for boys and pink for girls. We're trying to fight against that. But they're basically coming along saying, well, the only reason you can be a guy is if you've got a penis.
Yeah. And then...
But no, being a guy isn't about what equipment you're packing.
Exactly. And then...
Or a girl, what you're not packing. Or packing up here, I don't know.
Yeah. And this is the thing as well. It's like, you see people who are trans and who are dating, and they get asked by someone, like trans men, get asked by someone, have you got a dick? And they go ape shit. No, I haven't had that surgery yet. But that's not what I need to be a man.
No.
But then in another breath, when someone says they don't want that surgery, you're implying that they're not a man. No. Which is it? You're either a man without, or you're not.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter. But it's very, like, two-faced, I think. I can't think of a better word.
No, it is two-faced. They think it applies, one thing applies to them, but it doesn't apply to anybody else.
And it's not cool.
And that's not how it works.
No. It's
the same with the hate issue. Any towards hate issue. You can't say, well, I accept trans, and then say, but I hate cis. Because the whole point is that we're trying to build a society that is open to everybody. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is. It doesn't matter what your race is. It doesn't matter what your religion is, your creed is, whatever,
It shouldn't matter.
If you're fighting for one sort of rights, then you should be open to everything.
Exactly.
You can't
pick
love
and
one
choose.
and hate another.
And because then you're being as bad as the people
who are hating on you.
And that is kind of our point in this video.
Yes. It was very long-winded.
It was very long-winded, and we've kind of also not even touched on the fact that people are hating on each other because of, oh, you're not as dysphoric as we think you should be. Like, are you serious?
That's like reverse empathy. You're trying to put your emotions onto somebody? No, because they don't think the same thing. They haven't been through the same life that you have. Everybody deals with things differently.
Exactly.
And accepts things differently.
And people can be very dysphoric about certain body parts and not so much about others. There's extreme dysphoria where people don't even want to touch their genitalia, even when they go toilet. They just can't deal with that.
And other people, it's not an issue.
It's not an issue for them.
It's not an issue.
And they're hated on and told that they're not proper trans people because they don't have the same mindset. And so we're kind of...
I think what we're saying is that, however cliched this is like, love everyone for God's sake. How does what they're doing affect you? It doesn't.
No.
But we should be out there supporting. If you support one type, you should be supporting everybody.
Exactly.
Okay?
And
take it easy, people.
Well, I would also just like to add that we both do understand that because you're in a community that's under attack all the time, that your natural inclination is to be on the defence
to fight back.
Constantly. But by being constantly defensive, you're actually attacking each other internally, and that's not cool.
No.
And just to not blindly just go, oh yeah, all these 150 different labels within the LGBT community are real, because I saw a document the other day and there was some really weird, nonsensical labels. I think it was a troll thing. We're not saying that. No. We're saying speak to somebody nicely, get to know them, get to know their experience, and be accepting.
Yeah, exactly. And don't stop questioning. You don't need to stop questioning. You can ask your questions. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is very important. It's how we understand people. There's nothing wrong with asking those questions. So if someone comes up and goes, I'm non-binary, then it's okay to ask what non-binary is. It's okay to dig into that if they're open to discussing it, because not everybody would be.
No.
But do it in a way where you're
respectful.
Yeah, take into their emotions into account. Don't fight them on it.
No.
It doesn't matter. Even if I don't know, maybe someone feels that there's something completely different and they come up with a word for it themselves. That is how they are feeling. So what they're feeling is real. Just because you don't want to label it doesn't mean it's not happening.
Exactly.
You know? So
just be respectful.
Be nice to people.
Be
I know
nice
that's really
to
cliche.
people. And stop hating on each other.
Hating. Got enough of that going on. And we all know what I'm on about. You know, beginning of November, I'm not going to say it, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. There's enough hate out there.
Exactly.
So the people in this community should not be hating on each other.
Precisely. So that was our extremely long, kind of like interesting video. And we hope you enjoyed it. And thank you, Wendy, for joining
That's
me.
all right. It was fun.
We're going to do another one in a minute.
Are we?
Yes, we are. I didn't tell her. I kind of mentioned it briefly.
Did you?
Yeah. Anyway, bye.